Hello, a very good morning to you, wherever you are. I'm Benedict Host. Welcome to the sports segment here on the AM show. Well, tonight, as UEFA Champions League quarterfinal games, two great games, and we'll talk about that. But even before we do that, let's straight away go into the Commonwealth Games starting tomorrow. Team Ghana is ready. We are going to be there. 72 athletes participating in 12 different disciplines. A lot of stories have come from there, from Team Ghana, as well as the competition itself. Well, this morning we heard stories about how India they've been subjected to go through a doping test. We'll find out if Ghana is also going to go through the same doping test, and also what's been happening with Team Ghana since they arrived in Gold Coast. Well, they went there some weeks before the start of the championship or the games. That's tomorrow for their third phase of camping. You know, the first phase of camping was here in Ghana. That was a non-residential, and also a residential that happened. That was the second phase, and now they moved into the third phase in Gold Coast, Australia. We are privileged to have on the line Ken Odin Adade, his media officer for Team Ghana, works at the Ghana Olympic Committee. Ken, thanks so much for joining me this morning here on the AM show. He's joining us via Skype. And how are you?
Good morning, Benedict. I'm very fine, and you?
Awesome, I'm doing great here in Ghana. Ken, I mean, before we even go into the preparations of Team Ghana ahead of tomorrow's opening, we heard stories about some journalists being detained in Australia. That's Brisbane. How true is this?
Unfortunately, we also heard of such incidents, but as press officer for Team Ghana, when I heard our media guys have been detained, I went to the visa center of the Games Village to find out what the issue was. But as at now, I haven't been able to get any official explanation as to why the Ghanaian journalists were detained, or if I should use the word detained, in Brisbane and Singapore. When I went there, they told me the Immigration and Border Control are not giving them any information to that effect. So it's been quite a challenge getting an official explanation as to why they were being detained there. So as of now, I can't say this is the reason why any journalist was detained.
Okay, so if
we've had some journalists who have been able to pass through, and I currently in Gold Coast.
Okay, but so if I get what you're saying, some journalists were detained in Singapore as well as Brisbane.
Pardon?
No, if I get what you're saying, what you mean is that some journalists were detained in Brisbane as well as Singapore.
Yes, that is what we heard.
Okay, so that's what you heard, but you can't confirm whether it's true or not.
Yes, because when I heard it, my first point of call was to the accreditation center, because some of those who were coming did not have their MVPs with them. So I thought that was the reason why they were being held there. When I went there, they told me the MVP is not necessarily a guarantee. What you need to get is your visa. But so they directed me to the visa center, and I went there, and they told me they have not had any communication from the Immigration and Border unit at the various entry points, so they can't also give me any official information to that effect.
Okay. Well, last week you released a statement which Mohamed Shanoun, his chef de mission for this year's games, he signed it and was talking about how some of the athletes and also some people who are not eligible shouldn't travel to Australia. Who are these people?
That went for the athletes and officials. You know, before the games, Ghana submitted a long list, possible athletes and officials who were going to go for the games.
Okay.
But as the game got nearer, the names were so we had an official list that was submitted to the organizers. So if your name was not part of that official list, your visa was cancelled.
Okay.
So that statement was to warn those who were not on the official list not to travel with the visa they had, because it has been cancelled. So if you are going to travel with that visa, we are going to have challenges at the airports. Okay. So that was why we issued that statement.
All right. Another issue that came up last week was how some of our athletes, even before the start of the game, some have started running away. Yes, for a better word. Is that true?
That is not true. The Team Ghana has her 4 complements of athletes that will be participating in the games. no athlete has left the camp. All athletes and officials are here. I can confirm that no athlete has left camp.
All right, and everything is okay there.
Everything is perfect here.
All right.
We are just waiting for the official opening ceremony tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow. And how ready are we for the games? I mean, I've been seeing interviews of yourself and the athletes there saying that they are very ready, but you are there with them, you are very close to them. What have they been telling you going into the start of the championship?
Yeah, the spirit and the family unity here is very, very high. The athletes are really poised for these games. I don't know why. They seem to be in very high spirits for these games. And I can assure you that by the end of the games, we are going to reach our target of 5 medals.
Okay.
Let me also add that it's morning in Ghana, but it's already evening here. But later tonight, Ghana's High Commissioner to Australia will be hosting Team Ghana for a reception to officially usher them into the games. So that is the latest in camp now. Tonight we are meeting the Ghana's High Commissioner to Australia, His Excellency Edwin Nieje, will be hosting Team Ghana before we go into the games proper.
Okay. Well, Ken, thanks so much for your time this morning. We're going to do this with you often as we go through the games in Gold Coast. So that was Ken Odin Ada, the press attaché of Team Ghana at this year's Commonwealth Games. It's starting tomorrow in Gold Coast, and definitely will bring you more everything that will happen in terms of Team Ghana's participation and the other teams at this year's Commonwealth Games.